I think that we all have a responsibility to operate within our sphere of what we can influence, and if enough of us do it, it will grow. It will grow. And we will create a completely purpose-driven society. Absolutely. The statistic is that 90% of people are unfulfilled by their work, right? I have a genuine desire to see that statistic completely reversed. If you go to work in a purpose-driven organization, you are a happier person. Fact. And you will go home happier, and you will treat your kids better, and you'll treat your wife better. Okay, your kids will grow up to be more confident, and your marriage will last longer. And you'll go to work happier, and you'll treat your colleagues better, and those colleagues will treat your customers and your clients better, and those people will go home and they'll treat their kids better. It's called world peace. The way you find out the why of an organization, whether it's a small one or a big one, a new one or an old one, is you go right back to the beginning. What is the history of the organization? You know, why was the organization founded in the first place? Sometimes the founders can't put it into words themselves anymore, right? This is one of the challenges, because they've forgotten. It's gone fuzzy for them. Because every organization exists on two metrics. Some sort of money, some sort of, two levels of it. Some sort of metric and time, right? And what you do and why you do it when the company is founded are inextricably linked. The biggest challenge any organization has is its own success. Because as it starts to grow, it starts to sell more, sell more, sell more, sell more. Now you have to hire somebody who hires somebody who hires somebody who hires somebody who makes a decision. Based on what? Exactly. Based on what? Right? And the why starts to go fuzzy. And you have something called split. Symptoms of the split are things like when stress goes up, the passion goes down. It has nothing to do with how many hours you work. You used to work your brains out over here, and yet it didn't feel stressful. You didn't get paid very much, yet it didn't feel stressful. Here, you're making a mint, and you're working fewer hours, and yet for some reason stress goes up. Stress goes up, passion goes down is a symptom of the split. When the organization becomes more obsessed with what their competition is doing than what they're doing, it's a symptom of the split. When you're driven by a cause and your purpose, you don't care what anyone else is doing. Every single morning, Apple wakes up and doesn't care what Microsoft is doing. Every single morning, Microsoft wakes up and worries what Apple's doing. Right? Purpose-driven organizations don't care what their competition is doing. And they don't listen to the outsiders to make these big strategic decisions. They'll take it all in, but they don't do as they're told. Because they're driven, they know what's driving them. These are symptoms. These are symptoms. Right? You start doing massive amounts of customer research to ask others who you should be. Symptoms. Right? Symptoms. So when an organization is going through a split, the culture is still alive. It's still there. It's your opportunity to tap what's still special. If it goes on for too long like this, it ends up looking like America Online, where it's just a big, monstrous, who knows what, and eventually they'll chop it up and sell it for spare parts because it's worth more that way. In other words, the culture's been decimated. And ironically, when the company starts to have problems on the metrics, they hire somebody to fix this, but it's this that went missing. So your opportunity is to look at this. Don't literally ignore the product, literally ignore the surface, and worry about why they started in the first place. What was so important that only they could do it? And then start talking about it. Don't worry about influencing the CEO. Don't worry about influencing people who are miles above you. Don't worry about changing the organization. You probably have, don't forget, a leader has nothing to do with rank. Leadership is when you say something and others volunteer to go where you're going, regardless of where you are in the organization. Authority is up here. And if they're also leaders, then they operate at scale. It's efficiency, but that's all. So if you lead, even though the people who you really need to hear are up here, and you're all the way down here, I promise you there's a small group of people, some of whom report to you, some of whom you work for, some of the people you just know from the lunchroom, some people you know because you have to work with their group, and there's a group of people that you know. Start talking about this purpose or cause that drives you and reminds you why you love coming to work, and you will inspire them, and they will tell somebody, and they will tell somebody, and they will tell somebody, and eventually the tail wags the dog. So the biggest mistake so many people make is they look at the monstrosity of the organization and go, I can't change this. Correct. Don't. Worry about this tiny little group that you can influence. The people who work around you, make sure that they go home every single day fulfilled by the work that they do. And when you say to them, do you love your job? They go, absolutely I do. No less.